Hello and welcome to the first ever video on Second City Cottage. Now we are going to be doing videos about sort of like home brewing and cooking, and mainly I think the allotment which I got 2 days ago. The reason that I'm doing this is to record it for myself and for the family. And also I've noticed quite a few people sort of putting these videos up and getting hints and tips along the way, and I'm about to show you my allotment plot. It is going to need quite a lot of work, okay? So first of all, say my name's Lee. Gina is at home with Lyra, our daughter, and I've wanted to have an allotment for a while, but always worked jobs where I've not necessarily had the time to do that. Now I'm working a different job where I do. I got on the waiting list for a number of places, and I have spoken to all of the people. No, that's not true. I've spoken to a lot of the people who are on this site and sort of said that I'm going to be doing it, is that okay? And the overwhelming response has been positive. I think a couple of people might actually want to come on and have a natter about what they're doing on some of the very beautiful sites around here, which I'm not going to show because it's not mine to show, but maybe they'll want to do that at some point. But I've seen a lot of people doing sort of walk-arounds of their site. Mine is very much a bomb site at the moment. It's been left to go for about 6 months, and the lady who had it before liked to do quite a bit of fruit. So I'm probably going to be getting rid of some of the gooseberry bushes and stuff that we're about to see. Any hints and tips you want to provide me with along the way, absolutely feel completely and utterly free to do that, okay? I've got a shed on site. You can see it behind me. Look at that beauty, look at that. Tarpaulin on the roof. I believe there might be a wee critter living under there, a fox or something, so I've been told, and it's not the steadiest of sheds, so I was chuffed when I seen that we had a shed on site, but in reality I think that is going to have to be gone, and a new shed at some point, but that is not the priority at the moment. Shall we go for a little walk around the plot? So we've got some bins and some pots of what I assume is going to be sort of compost. I've got to have a look at that. I will say at the moment I've done nothing other than get my car onto the site. I wanted to do this straight from the very beginning, okay? There's the shed. So we have a look inside the shed. Let's have a look inside. I believe we've got some brambles around here. We've got some wood down here. And inside a fairly empty shed. I'm not going to try walking on the floor at this point, for fairly obvious reasons. I think, first ever day in the allotment, fall and break your leg, and probably get ravaged by a pissed off wolf, probably get savaged by a fairly angry fox. We got a tree here, not sure what it is. All of this I'm going to be having some help from the guys sort of on the committee. They're going to be telling me what's what and what to keep, and maybe some of you guys can as well. This sort of space here is all to be trimmed back. Got the remnants of a path going up to my car there. We've got some beds here, we've got some beds here, but they're all going to be dug up because a lot of this wood is rotting, and obviously we'll have a look at what wood is good to go and which is not. This here, I believe, is gooseberry bushes. Sorry if you're feeling seasick here as I go through, but first video and all that. Open to constructive criticisms. A lot of space here. These trees that we've got going along here are all fruit trees of some sort. There we go. And we've got some brambles here. I've got all this space here. I'm going to have to sort of sort it out from my car really. And we've got more gooseberry bushes here. The lady before me must have absolutely adored gooseberries. Can you make wine from gooseberries? We definitely want to have fruit where we can make wine from it. So that's it. A lot of rubbish down here which has to be moved. Plenty of pots, etc, which are going to need to be organised. I'm going to have a look at these trees as we go down. I've got a friend who's a tree surgeon, and I'm hoping he's going to be able to come down and have a look at these and give them a trim. I want to get rid of any trees really that aren't sort of fruit bearing or anything like that, or maybe if they're not productive. And I do not have a clue about trees, if I'm honest. I'm told that there's a willow of some sort in here which needs to be gotten rid of, but I'm also told that there's apple trees, damson trees in here, and maybe a pear tree. This is just the walk back the other way down. You can see the shed again. Polytunnels are the site backing up onto mine. I think at some time of life this was a compost bin. It will be gone at some point soon. So yes, as you can see, we're going to be having our work cut out for us. There's a tree here, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm not sure whether it's dead, to be honest. Oh, there's some shoots of life just there. You can see that. Doesn't want to focus on that. Brilliant. Nice start. And there's this tree at the back here. I'm not sure what that is. So any suggestions, get in touch. This area down here I'm going to clean out and get like a seating area down here. Somewhere along this site I want to be getting an area for my daughter and her friends to be able to play in, nice and safe. Yeah, and chickens is a big idea, but that's probably going to be next year now. So yeah, so that's your tour. Obviously lots and lots of work to do. So there you have it. That's your first tour of the plot, and I'm hoping in the weeks and months to come that's going to be transformed quite a bit, obviously, and we're going to want to see if we can make it into a nice little oasis where we can come and escape and grow our food to cook at home, and maybe give you guys some recipes for that. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to go and get on with some work now, and then we'll have another quick look at the end. I've not got a huge amount of time today because, as you can see, the day just gets away from you. But we'll start by trimming back a lot of this grass, and then we'll have an update at the end of the day. Cheers, bye. So I think the first learning that I've got is to do things little and often. Have a break, especially when you've got absolutely loads to do. I don't really know if I showed you this area behind me well enough to start with. I'll do a proper pan around of it in a sec. But there's so much to do cutting back here that I think you just do some, you chill out a little bit, you do some, you chill out a little bit, and you start to plan what you're going to do with that space whilst you're doing it. So that'd be my first finding of this, is little and often. Have a cup of tea, then have something to eat, and then, you know, if your goal at the end of the day is to have a nice cold refreshing beer, as mine might be, I'd go ahead and do that. Just little and often. I'll show you what I've just done now. I'm not sure really whether I showed you well enough in the first place, so from now on I'll show you sort of the particular area that I'm working on. We'll do some sort of before and after shots as well. So this is the area that we're sort of just doing now. So you see that chair in the middle now. If we cut it across, it's already a lot lower. Now I'm going to have a brew to it, and I'm going to just focus on this, really, this area, and down here as well. So that's coming into the shed, and the pot's down here then. So I think really the first long sort of plan is going to be to clear all of that and down here into these sort of trees here, so we've got a nice little seating area. I think that's going to be the first sort of plan. Right now, time for a cup of tea. So we've pretty much cut that little chap down which was interfering with what we think is the prune tree. Trying to dig the grass up, found that there's a lovely huge amount of membrane down there, so we've been trying to dig that up. Found some wood, found quite a lot of bricks which are going to come in handy holding down our new membrane, but a lot of this here now is being cut back. So if we go up the path, we can see now that it does look a little bit better down here. So the ongoing goal now is to clear this whole area and try and get a couple of beds in here. I've been told what these trees are, if I remember correctly, and do correct me if I'm wrong. This one here is an apple tree, that's tree number 1. I think this one here, can't really see it at the moment, but they are in bases. And when all this is cleared back, you'll see the bases and it'll be a lot prettier. And we think that's, sorry, the first one, tree number 1, is a damson tree. So apparently we can make lots of nice jam from that. This one here, I'm not sure whether you can see it very well, but you will do in future videos, is an apple tree. We think this tree number 3, so you can just about see the border at the bottom. We think that it's another apple tree, and then we think we've got 3 pear trees at the end. We think we'll confirm it as we sort of go on, really, because we're just not sure. There are 3 willow trees at the back, which you can see are really high, and they're coming down, thank heavens. So that is the big plan. First of all is to clear all down there, and I think we've got probably about, I'd like to say halfway to that today, but it's more likely a quarter of the way. If we can get all of that membrane up next day, if we can get it all up next trip down, that'll be a lot better. And we're going to try, I think, next time as well, to get these gooseberries out so I can turn this whole end of the allotment into my parking spot, and that rubbish will be gone. Yeah, I think day 1's been fairly productive actually. So if you've got any sort of hints and tips, please feel free to let me know. These are the fruiting bushes that we've got sort of behind me. I think we've got raspberries and gooseberries, I think. I'm not sure. Only time will tell, I suppose. But in true in true YouTube fashion, please click on the old like and subscribe, and you can join our journey as we go. Also, you can find us on Instagram at Second City Cottage. And I'll make that sort of like shoot across the bottom of the screen or something, yeah? Because you know, that's what people do these days, isn't it? Yeah, so that's been day 1. Hopefully day 2 will have maybe a bit of help down here, and a couple of days we're going to have some people come down and help, all socially distanced and safe, of course. And we can start to get things into order. I would say that tonight I'm going to have to do some sort of plan for what we want the place to look like. Now I can start to see it a little better, and also a to-do list, and try and sort of stick to that. Okay, right, nice one. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on Insta. Cheers, bye bye.